Hello, this is the TradeSite US Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Thursday the 14th. Happy Valentine's Day, and Friday the 15th of February 2019. I don't think we really got an options unraveling move on on Wednesday, but we did get a 13 sell signal. We'll talk about that in a minute. So it wasn't a very exciting day. It's two very boring days in a row, two of the worst I've seen all year. Barely worth trading at this point. Everything's just drifting, and there's just no key technical action. We do have options expiration on Friday. Again, I don't think we got the unraveling move, but we'll look at that in a minute. So here's the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market and futures form. And with the S&P closing up 8 points, what we did get is a 13 seeker exhaustion signal. So that's basically a sell signal on the broad market, right up against that 200 moving average, which is not on this chart, but that's where the number is. So that will be interesting to follow, because we have only had, if you go back, you don't see those all the time, and the last one back in August was close to the highs. Let's go through the daily charts of everything major here. Crude oil up 21 cents to 54.11. Gold down $3.70. S&P cash gains $8.30. This one on the cash index, only 12 candles up. So technically, the broad market can still get one more up day before it gets to 13 on both the cash and the futures. Note that on the cash index, not only did you have that same sell signal back in around August, and the market topped out right after that, but you had a buy signal back at the beginning of April, and that was the low before a 6-month run. So, as you know, these signals can be pretty powerful, and definitely means we ought to be on alert for a rollover here in the markets. NASDAQ 100 literally up a point. Waste of time. No count here, no signal, but certainly something to just be aware of. Is that the broader market scenario. SOX up 4, not a big deal. Biotech's up 9.44. That gets you 11 towards a signal there. The Russell 2000 gains 4.71 points. This thing's bumping against the static trend line that's currently in place, the green line right there. VIX up 22 cents to 15.65. The trend at 1.10, that puts the 10-day just under that. NASDAQ volume, 2.1 billion shares. Again, it's been a very light week so far. These 3 days tracking for the lightest volume week of the year by quite a bit so far. And I know we're only 6 weeks in, but this is lighter than the other 5 by a lot. Advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ plus 426, and on the New York plus 891. Google gains $1.05. Apple down 71 cents. Not a big. These are all blips. Netflix down $8.20. Even that's kind of a blip for Netflix. Amazon up $2. That doesn't do much for that. Tesla down 364. This thing's exactly where it was about a year ago. Facebook down 97 cents. We had a trade set up here today, but we didn't take it yet. We're going to have that on the same list for tomorrow. Goldman Sachs up 20 cents. Also a blip. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, down 46 cents. So it is what it is. Okay, let's take a look at the intraday action here. So the ES, again, look how flat most of these days are. This is what's so disappointing. I mean, if you go back and you look at, this was Monday, right, on the far left. Little gap up, and just one of the flattest days you can possibly imagine. Tuesday looks better than it, but it really isn't. The gap up and then flat, one push up, and then basically flat, and a little drift, and then flat all day long. There's just nothing there. Wednesday, we get the gap up. Wiggled around for 2 hours, tried to come back and at least fill the gap just to get it done, and couldn't even do that. And then everything in the last, that's the thing. The entire rate, most of the range of the day was established in the first 15 minutes. And then we broke those lows for about 10 more minutes, about 2 hours in. And at that point, you have established the entire range of the day. That means 3 candles cover the whole day. 3 5-minute candles cover the whole day. I mean, that is truly remarkable. NASDAQ side did fill the gap. So that's just a technical fill there. So it's really hard to get excited about the market when it's doing this and looks like this. All right. In terms of economic data that's left for the whole week, because we do not typically do a market preview for Fridays because most of the week's played out. This week will probably be no different. We got a couple things here. We got retail sales, PPI, and the weekly initial and continuing jobless claims numbers an hour before the bell on Thursday. Business inventories 30 minutes in, natty gas an hour in. Empire State Manufacturing Index at 8:30 on Friday, along with import-export prices. 9:15 a.m. we got capacity utilization, industrial production. Preliminary University of Michigan sentiment at 10 for the month, and then the tick long-term purchases at 4 p.m. Please note that in addition to, we have not necessarily seen options unraveling, but it is only February. It's not a triplet month, so we may or may not get much of a move there. But please note that in addition to The options expiration Friday, which will usually kill the market, and I don't know how it can be any slower than it already is, but definitely Friday would be expected to kill the market. It's also a long weekend because we are closed on Monday, so the big players are going to be leaving at some point on Thursday. That does not bode well for almost anything that's left this week. There's obviously some stuff going on with the government, potential shutdown if Trump doesn't sign the bill. That could maybe move the market a bit because nobody wants to see that again. But overall, if that doesn't turn into a problem, this might be it until Tuesday, and then we come back from the 3-day weekend. We'll have our market preview over the weekend to take a look at where everything's at and go from there. Hopefully things pick up at some point in time. This is a strange time of year to be having markets these slow. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple of weeks. Have a great trading Thursday, Friday. Have a great weekend.